Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. This is a Down and Dirty update. My mom's here, and she's going to be leaving tomorrow. So I got one more awesome day I want to bring her. She has some stuff to do at Home Depot. You know what I mean? I'm excited. A day with mom at Home Depot. I'm like, you don't get those every day. So now my sister just left, and it just, you know how I am with my family. But shout out to everybody here on the live. So Bitcoin getting tighter in the zone here. This is the simplest way to see it on MEXC here, USDT. It's just getting tighter and tighter above the 200 SMA. The 21 cross, this is also a very bullish sign. You can see I just took off the other moving averages just to keep the chart a little clean. You can always come back and add them on if I want to see the 50. Another one kind of might want to add just the 50. Leave the other two off, the 80 and the 100. I don't really use as much anyway. So, but they do tell me a story, so it's good to see them. I don't want to completely get rid of them. My mind's pretty used to seeing them. Without them, I'm like, huh, you know. But as long as we stay above this 200 SMA, as I said before, we remain bullish, and I remain in the long. I did leave the long, got back in when we got really close here, but I decided as long as we didn't go breach, I would stay, and we went pretty flat, so it was a pretty even Steven exchange. Really, nothing really happened there. So the measured move, I'm just taking this here to here, telling us that we're likely to go all the way up here to about 27,533. All right, we live vicariously through your beautiful family lifer. God bless you, man. I appreciate that. It all starts with my mom. My mom is just the sweetest woman in the world, you know. So look at this. We have a rejection here at 26,727. We get above that. You could use that as a possible retest if you are not the risky type of person. You want the easier bet. That's your better move. Remember, we have a gap here, a move here. There's a gap in the VRVP. Nice move here on the 4 hour that could get us through. And that also kind of continues through on the daily here. If we bring out the daily and just look at your daily gap, you see this big gap here in the VRVP could take us to 29,000. As we went fast down, we can go just as fast to the upside. We're starting to build some support. I like what's happening here for Bitcoin. The daily is a little overbought, but we could still get a big move up here. The 22 says, hey, it's time, but we could get that pump up to the 200 SMA. We are above a point of control, all right? And we made it, out of this, bigger falling wedge support and resistance zone, which I will draw. And what's crazy is I did see this as a, we kind of negated that descending triangle in here that I saw earlier yesterday. Let's see what wasn't on like the 15. Let's see. I mean, it did play out. All right, this is a descending triangle, dump to the downside. It's just amazing how when you see these patterns. Oh yeah, but I saw this as a descending triangle too. And it began to dump, but it got held by this trend line, and we kind of stayed there. That looked like we were going to get a bigger dump for sure yesterday. But we stayed true. The stochastics held us, and we've been bouncing around ever since. Now, right now, the 15-minute, I was like, can it give us a move? The 1 hour doesn't look amazing. The last I checked, I'll take a look at it again. So, but you're seeing this tight consolidation for Bitcoin. What is a big move is coming. You get above the point of control, we can make a move. We get rejected by it. So if you see, and what happens is a lot of times the price action tells us, look, the last time here, you came up, you came back up on the 15, even twice, you went once, you came back up on the 15-minute again. So look, you went 1, 2, stochastics RSI with support, and then you made another resistance there with an M. It told you to short that, and it was a symmetrical triangle that they're 50-50 patterns. They're supposed to be bilateral, but they could go either way. Sorry about the low volume there. Bring that back up to the upside. There we go. Check. 1 2 1 2. Forgive me there for that low microphone volume. So, and look how we gapped up, gapped down, gapped up. Why? There's gaps in the VRVP here. Fast move. You see how we move through these areas? Now we're starting to consolidate at the top channel. Tells you that we may have had our fun with this fair value gap, and we're on our way to the next bigger move. All right. So can the 50-minute still turning to the upside, but I wanted a more aggressive move. But again, on a Sunday, my mind said, you're probably not going to get the volume, Sam. So I know you want to see the pump, but you may not likely get it. We had this beautiful fallen wedge here. Stochastics want to point to the upside. Pretty much lack of bearish momentum on the MACD. We're getting the cross that we want. Things look the way we want them to look, and we're above a point of control. So here's the deal for me. I mean, Bitcoin loses this level, it's dropping right back down to 26,271. That's just, that's the local POC there. But if it can stay inside the zone, break on out. Use this as a retest. So if it can retest 26.6, and 26.6 is just like our old 26.3. So far, we've eventually got ourselves out of 26.3. So I'm looking for the breakout, hopefully on a smaller time frame. The 4-hour also looks like it's ready for a move to the upside, which looks very bullish to me. And it's staying above its 21 SMA. The 50 is about to cross the 200. They could kind of curl out. And so the 4 hours, looking somewhat bullish to me for a move to the upside. And this even kind of still has like a shoulder ahead and almost like a larger right shoulder. Not the best, but it has an inverted vibe to me. And even here is like a shoulder ahead and almost a right shoulder there too. 1 hour resetting. If the 1 hour can reset on the Stokes, which means come back down near the dotted lines and begin to curve back up, and we can stay inside of this trend line, it's going to be a very bullish sign for Bitcoin. Whenever the Stokes want to come down on you and dump, and instead what they do is they do come down, and that's the beauty of the stochastics. Just like a scientific experiment, the reason why scientific experiments work, because they have a control. They say, okay, well, this set of rabbits will only eat carrots. This set of rabbits will only eat lettuce. And then they'll find out, well, the rabbits that only eat carrots were healthier than the rabbits that only ate lettuce because of, yada, yada, yada. So I don't know if that's true. Don't quote me on that. I'm just making it up. It's a complete metaphor. The idea behind this is eating, and then you could have a set of controlled rabbits that only ate like oats or something, whatever. But the idea is this comes down. This comes down. That's your control, right? And so you compare the control. And so every time this is going to come down. So that came down, right? And you can compare it from here to here, we dropped. From here to here, we had a drop. Came back up again, then we had another drop. But for the most part, like from here to here, we dropped. So like if you go by most of the time, from here to here, look, a drop. From here to here, a drop. So like 90% of the time in my mind, or maybe like 80, when you go from dotted line to dotted line, you're getting a drop. So then when you look at, well, how come now? So if this goes from dotted line to dotted line and you go sideways and you don't really get a drop, or the drop is very small compared to the previous drops, it tells you that something's happening in the price action. So like here, like dotted line to dotted line, pretty good drop. Came back up a little bit. You can say almost did, and then you can say that's your drop, another drop. And then here, dotted line to dotted line, pretty good drop. But then here, dotted line to dotted line, pretty much like smaller. And this one's looking, and it begins to imply through the stochastics that the bulls are starting to win a little more than the bears. Again, I'm still a support and resistance guy. Like we have a clear, beautiful bounce here off of 26,470, right? If you start to lose that area, you're likely dropping back down to 26,287. Okay. Thank you so much for telling people to smash that like button. I appreciate that, man. That'll be the last one, though. I appreciate it. It's kind of spammy, but it works, I guess. I don't know. I appreciate it, though. Reminder, flat smack, like that button for Sammy, Cup, and Hetty. Shout out to everybody here on the live. And you know what's funny is like 2 or 3 years ago, someone showed me a certain, they showed me this certain chart, and it got me thinking. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then 2 or 3 days ago, I was like, man, there was this chart like this farmer made in like the 20s, and it's supposed to tell you about the markets, and I hadn't seen it in a while. And boom, this morning I wake up, Crypto Billy had it, and I was just thinking about it yesterday and the day before, which I find so interesting. And it talks about the best and worst times to get into the market. Okay? And this is the coolest thing about it. So 1924, right? And it says A are the years in which panics have occurred and will occur again. All right? So in 1927, they panicked, and they panic sold. 1945, they panic sold. 1965, B, years of good times, high prices, the time to sell stocks and values of all kinds. All right? So you come back the next year, things are all right. 1935, 1945, in the middle, I guess. Trying to read this. And then C, years of hard times, low prices, good time to buy. Corner lots, good, etc. Hold till the boom reaches the years of the good times and then unload. So what it tells us is so it tells us 2023 is a good time to buy and get on in. And 2026 is a good time to sell. It's pretty interesting, right? Because it looks like it's going to be spot on. I mean, it's pretty weird. Let's go back to the bull market. I guess it doesn't really cover the bull market. It covers like a broader scale of time. So it doesn't really cover Bitcoin. But this time it does, which is funny, you know. But it's supposed to, yeah, it does say stocks too. So it could be like, I mean, at one point now we have Bitcoin uncorrelated. But 1875, Samuel Burton. And that's the thing. This guy wrote this in the 1800s. All right. And I mean, look, the 99 to 2000 stock boom, right? That's kind of crazy, right? And to buy here, to sell there, to buy here, to sell there. Then it sells to buy in 2032 and sell in 2035. Wait all the way to buy again in 2039 to sell in 2043. Wait again to buy in 2050 to sell in 2053. I don't know what the difference between the so you're supposed to sell beforehand though, like a year before the panic. But what happens between 2026 and 2032? 2034 is a good time to sell. Oh yeah, we come back. Nah, I'm still confused though. There's 6 years there, right? I don't know. Anyway, I thought it was interesting that we align with the time to buy right now, which could play out. Looks like he said goodbye. That's so creepy. Shout out to everybody following me on Twitter. Thank you. I really appreciate it. At CryptoLifer33. All right. Talk about all sorts of fun stuff there on Twitter. Okay. And everyone, we have master class tonight. You know what I mean? Masterclass today. If you want to take Leverage Mastery, it is 12 o'clock Eastern time. You do have to sign up to my trading group. And it's also $150. All right. But what you'll get is you'll get 2 months of mentoring. Right, which I think you'll really, really, really appreciate. It'll be good if you do know your Fibonacci, support or resistance. But you can always take this and go backwards. I mean, I suggest you don't. But at the same time, I don't want to discourage anyone from not learning what they want to learn. So, but this is 12 p.m. Eastern time today. All right, take this class. It's still open. Even though there's 17 minutes left, you can still jump in today. I would jump in if you can. All right. Matic 3S looks like it's likely going to go to the upside. So the altcoins are going to take a hit. And that leads me to look at Bitcoin dominance for a split second and take a look. Bitcoin dominance wants to pump. And if Bitcoin dominance wants to pump and the altcoins take a hit, tells me that Bitcoin could steal the show here and get a massive pump to the upside. You know what I mean? So the 22, and then what we want to see is US Tether dominance now. And run the game here and see what it says. And that says that this actually could pump too, which is in a good sign. When Bitcoin dominance and Tether dominance both want to pump, it says that we could have a bit of a dump for Bitcoin. It's great about my system because we'll know, because what will happen is the 4-hour will slightly start to slop. It'll break below the 200 SMA and then, you know, things will get pretty bearish. But we're starting to get, you know, hopefully anew. The last time the 4-hour got back above the 200 SMA was this area here at 26,783, and we would get a beautiful rally all the way to 30K. All right. Second time it did it, you know, substantially was here, 23,000 all the way up to 30,000. And then, oh, fine, this one was kind of a nothing burger, and so was that one. All right. But, I mean, out of 1, 2, 3, 4 times... The past 4 times, 2 of them were just massive pumps. The other 2 were pumps that still made you money, right? So it's 4 for 4 as well as making you money if you just bought when you got above the line. So I did the same thing this time to see what happens. We'll take a look. You know, I bought above the line, and there you go. Keep it super simple. You know, not reinventing the wheel here. 1 hour is the time frame that I'm really watching that could really dump us down. 15-minute didn't look too bad. 7-minute looked okay, like we could just go sideways. What do I see as tonight when I show up? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we wait for that candle close for volatility. It goes up and down, and then something big happens tonight, and we go more sideways for the next few hours for Bitcoin. So we might leave, come back in. We might come back out. I see some volatility beginning to build here, especially because it's the candle closing, weekly candle closing into Fed week, where the Fed's going to tell us, about rate hikes. Right now, Fed rate hike has been where it's at. Right? So we don't have anything to worry here on the CME watch tool, which has been pretty spot on. Could there be a surprise hike? I don't know. I mean, anything is possible. I'm open-minded to the world, but it's a 2% chance that they raise rates. Very unlikely that they raise rates. It's all pretty much baked in, but they're going to use the people's energy and emotions to move the markets around, right? So what do I see Bitcoin doing today? I mean, I'm just still holding on to a more macro long on that 4-hour. If you want to trade the smaller time frames, you can, but the volatility is going to heat up. And price action kind of gets antsy up until the weekly close. So, 7 minutes suggests you could get a little bounce here. As I said before, the best play of these retests, so you'd want to wait for us to get, back above this key level here at 26.6 and retest it to the upside. If we make a bearish retest here, we are dropping further down. And then if we lose 26.40, we'll figure it out. But I'll have alerts. I'm watching Bitcoin, and I'll keep you guys privy to what's happening no matter what in the trading group. So with that being said, I will see everyone later on tonight at 8 p.m. May God bless each and every one of you. I'm going to run to Home Depot and have a blast. I love you, and thank you for everything, everyone. Today's kind of a hard day for me. My family gets back together. When my family gets together, I can feel the one person that's not there when my family's together, and it's my dad, And also, I miss my sisters terribly. I have a twin sister. I just had to hug them and watch them drive away literally a half an hour ago. And it just, I don't know, rips my heart out. I'm a real softie for my family. So anyway, I love each and every one of you. Thank you for everything you've ever given me, for being in the trading group. Thank you for all the knowledge that you've received and give to others. And thank you for your ability to continue to grow and learn with me. I really appreciate it. Shout out to anyone that's jumping on into class in 12 minutes. And yeah, thank you. And may God bless you all today and tomorrow. And stay grateful for everything in your life. We learn to find gratitude every moment, and that's the key. That it truly is the key to keep us moving and keep us living and breathing and getting to another level. So may God bless you all. I appreciate every one of you and everything you've ever done. And I just want to make sure I wasn't missing any super chats or anything. But thank you, everyone, and I'll see you tonight for Bitcoin and the weekly candle close. May you have a wonderful day. It's beautiful here on the East Coast, 71 degrees. With sunny pockets. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So get out there if you can. Enjoy time with your wife, your kids, your mom, your dad. If you're older like me and you still have mom and dad and they're in their 70s and 80s, go over there. Listen to them say the same thing over and over again. Whatever it is, the more you've spent time with them, the better off you'll feel when they're gone. I went over to see my aunt like 3 or 4 times in the last 2 years. It wasn't a lot, since I moved home. But, my cousin went up to me and she said, when you went up and you saw her, you made her feel like she mattered, and it meant a lot to me and to her, And if I had never gone to see my aunt and found out that she passed, and I said that to myself. I said, I don't want to be at the funeral looking at everyone and remembering that I didn't even go say hi to my aunt when I moved back home from New York. So reach out to family and friends. It'll hurt when you're at the funeral and you realize that you didn't do it. I'm telling you right now, because I'm experiencing it right now, and I want to continue to be, and it's hard because we got to make time. Oh, we're so busy. I got to do this. I got to do that. But you got to just make time somehow, some way for the people that you love in your life. There can't be excuses for the people you love, I'll see everyone again tonight. I love you. Have a great night, a great day, morning, no matter where you are in the world, and stay blessed. I'm in a great mood. Don't worry. I'm just thinking about my life and my dad. I'm happy. Believe me. I'm not like, yeah, liver. But, I'm retrospective right now. I'm just thinking about how grateful I am for everything in my life. And this is also always a time for me where I really think a lot, because as a kid, the summer would end in the first week of school. I was always in this, there was a little bit of angst for me, and I still carry that angst on into these first 2 weeks of September. Maybe some of you have the same. There's something about it that it will always kind of, because I just had such a hard time with that transition. Being able to run out into the woods and do whatever I want, swim and play and boogie board, and then having to sit in a room for 6 hours a day was not easy for me, So Everyone, God bless you. I'll see you tonight. I'll say goodbye 100 times, I guess. But, hey, thank you for everything again. Gratitude is the attitude. Keep the gratitude, and everything else falls into place. I'm telling you right now. God bless.